much. Ooh, who is that, man? It's too easy, like I'm shooting in a trash can. I'm still ballin' even if I get a bad pass. All I do is put up numbers like a math class. Ankle bully hit a million, that ain't that bad. Put your name and your ankles on a hashtag. Oh, I think I lost your ankles, get the Maps app. You gon' have to run this back like a halfback. I got everybody talking like a group chat. They was sleeping on that boy like they. I make everybody fall off the. Handle life all black like I'm Batman. Dribble too much, ooh, who is that, man? Put your name and your ankles on a hashtag. This too easy, it's like shooting on a trash can. Ooh.
Watch, shoot this boy from anywhere, I swear I have no conscience. Hit you with that yaya, drop you, pull up, then I pop it. Always hit the target, bro, this wrist got infrared. Ankle bully, book them doctors, please come wrap his leg. It's breakfast in bed, every day like these is on me tough, let this thing go, soon I see daylight. Bottoms, bottoms, jab step, got him.
Handle life all black like I'm Batman. Dribble too much, ooh, who is that, man? Put your name and your ankles on a hashtag. When I pull up, it's like paper in a trash can. Handle life all black like I'm Batman. Dribble too much, ooh, who is that, man? Put your name and your ankles on a hashtag. This too easy, it's like shooting on a trash can. Ooh.
Yeah, hey. Look, yeah. Dude like Robin, Rolex diamonds. Fendi flip flops, I'm styling. Buy brown Rolex diamonds. Hey, I do like Robin, Rolex diamonds. Hey, I do like Robin, Fendi flip flops, I'm styling. Like Robin, Fendi flip flops, I'm styling. Like Batman, none of them. Just none of them. Just left church, I'm wildin'. Poppy round Rolex diamonds. Rolex diamonds. She don't wanna leave, she vibing.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
The tallest building in the United States. And we've got time for a quick pregame.
Well, guys, Kemba Walker is a multiple-time All-Star. But from his first seasons in the league,
David Eve's come a long way. Thank you. And now the opening lineup for Boston. They've got Bryant. McHale is out there with Shaquille O'Neal. Then it's Damian Lillard, and it's English in at the small forward. And for the Knicks, they've got Bird. Olajuwon is out there with Durant. Then it's Tracy McGrady, and it's Paul in at the 1 spot. Now here's Kobe. Pass to Lillard. 6 on the shot clock. And the rebound goes to the Knicks.
Well, we didn't see the same kind of control we're used to seeing from him. This guy is usually a tremendous finisher.
Shots good by Durant. Of course, we know these teams have great perimeter play, and they rely on it a lot.
It feels as though, Kevin, the current rules in today's game favor ball handling. They favor shooting ability. They want high-scoring games with an ability to go unimpeded to the basket. And what it translates to me, it translates to pretty free-flowing basketball. You've seen the game evolve over the years, Kevin. What's your take on it?
I love the way that we see guys with great handles that can shoot and penetrate. I love the bigs outside. I got to tell you, Doris, there's nothing about the game I don't like right now.
I'm right there with you.
This is his first free throw of the game.
Shooting 2.
That's good from Durant.
Well, you knew the Knicks were going to try and make a huge splash over the summer in free agency.
But you know this, Greg. Sometimes you swing hard at the pitch and you miss. And that's one of the problems of putting all your eggs in the free agency basket.
And so Durant nails them both.
In the city of Boston, 12 championships since 2000, 6 in football, 4 in baseball, and 1 apiece in hockey and basketball.
Greg, you'd have to say Boston has become the sports capital of the country. The fans are knowledgeable, they're passionate, and they are justifiably proud.
Here's Lillard after Tracy McGrady's score. Here's English. And that one's good, Lillard.
And for someone who spends most of his time on the perimeter, Lillard's a terrific finisher inside. His moves to the basket aren't tentative, they are strong.
Now here's Bird. Durant trying to break free. It's blocked by Shaq. Passes it to English. Just about 2 minutes into the game, first quarter of basketball. Shaq can't hit.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And what you love about his work defensively, the ability to challenge and change shots without fouling.
The Knicks shooting their third and fourth free throw attempts of the game.
And going back a season ago, they were a pretty average team at the line, about 76% altogether.
Free throw good, McGrady.
And when you think about Brad Stevens, he has one thing he cites quite often. The quote is, toughness is being able to physically and emotionally perform your task through any condition. And boy, when you think about his teams, they have embodied that for most of his tenure.
He doesn't get the second one. The Celtics have gone just 1 of 4 to get this game started. Moncrief El-Cid with it. The pass to English. To the middle. Here's Cowens. There's the killer two-handed slam.
How good a playmaker are we watching? Always leading, always trying to create for others.
McGrady kicks to Sabonis. Johnson left side. Pass to Rice. Fires it up. And the Knicks miss again.
And guys, you've heard of overpassing. Well, that shot was an example of underpassing.
Well, there's no doubt there were better options on the floor, but it certainly seemed like he had his mind made up.
Here's English. From deep. And the last second attempt does not go in for him. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. New York. And if you're just tuning in, it's been a pretty even game through the first quarter. And what stands out to you from New York in this one?
You got to credit their defense, communicating, rotating, making plays on the ball.
Yeah, I think they wanted to come out of the gate strong, and they have. They've taken the early lead here.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. On the court for the Celtics, Moncrief is out there with Frazier. And there's Davis, and it's English in at the 3 spot.
Boy, have they gotten hot here in the second quarter. No wonder they're in front.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, one of the things that teams are more aware of in the age of analytics is the importance of sleep. Those teams are making adjustments. Morning shoot-arounds have been moved in some cases to the afternoon or eliminated altogether. There are many fewer teams that are taking red-eye flights across country. Some teams even give players orange-tinted glasses to encourage them to sleep. There's a lot of work to be done in this field, but the direction is clear.
Continuing to evolve. All right, David, thank you. Looking at who's out there now for the Knicks. Lambeer checks in for Johnson. And it's Paul in for Tracy McGrady. Doris, if you were going to build a team around one player, who would that player be?
Well, I think because of his age and continued growth opportunity, I would probably say Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's playing at an MVP level. He's still got another decade where he's probably in the peak range of his playing capabilities. And the reality is Giannis still has so much growing to do. He's a force at the rim. He continues to build that three-point game. And Kev, once he gets that in-between game, he will be unguardable.
Can't argue with that at all.
And you gotta love how Paul sees the whole court so well. Maybe the best quality for a point guard to have.
Here's English. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for two.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
This is his second trip to the line in this one. The first free throw is good. That one falls, so he hits both of them.
And working, Kevin, themselves to the line here in the second. A nice way to get your offense going.
And here's KD for three. That one misses. Now the Celtics take it the other way. Lillard outside. To the right side. Kobe with it, guarded now by Durant. And Bryant wide open, he shoots. That misses, had a chance to tie it there. The Knicks have gone 2 of 4 shooting the ball here in the second. Out to Thompson, launches a three. His second shot goes in, off to a good start, 2 for 2.
You simply cannot relax when you're playing Klay Thompson. The catch and shoot, the release too quick.
Three-pointer, Lillard sinks the triple. Lillard's got 5 now.
That was big because they dug a big hole in the first quarter, but starting to show signs of life.
Durant feeling it out a bit. That's to Lambeer. Bird outside. Over McHale. And there's another one for the Knicks.
Well, the versatility he possesses makes him a very tough cover, guys.
There's a 4-second difference from the shot clock to the game clock. And Lillard gets double teamed. Here's English. Bird with some nice D.
I'll tell you, most of the time this guy's going to finish that, but that was tremendous defense that prohibits him from completing the play.
He got it up, and that'll do it for the first half. A competitive game so far. Knicks lead 5-4. Stay with us, folks. We'll get back.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to For the Knicks, the first quarter was pretty even. Their field goal percentage was a robust 50. And that's a wrap. With the third quarter approaching, we now send you back to Kevin and the crew.
And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard yet. Klay Thompson with a strong contribution so far in this one.
And even with the defense shading towards him on every trip down, he still finds a way to come up big.
Well, he knows they're coming for him, but he's accustomed to that kind of attention, and he's quite comfortable dealing with it.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. Durant is out there with Bird. Then it's Chris Paul. Then it's Olajuwon. And it's McGrady in at the shooting guard position. So that's who's on the floor for the Knicks. The rebound by the Celtics. O'Neal high post. He's against Olajuwon.
O'Neal is a force of nature. Once he gets it that low, it is a foregone conclusion.
Durant, the pass to Bird. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. The Knicks have shot 75% at the line tonight, going 3 for 4.
2 shots.
Free throw good. Bird. Of course, you and I were just talking about this as more and more players are going public with their trade requests. Do you think that's had a negative impact on the game?
Well, Kevin, I certainly think it makes long-term planning for NBA franchises a lot more difficult because contractually we are not seeing them hold true to the particular organization they may have signed that contract with. The reality is this in today's NBA. You've got to be nimble as an organization, and you have got to be attractive to them. And I mean that with great ownership, great leadership, and who are the players currently in your system. You have got to be incredibly nimble to be successful in today's NBA.
I think you're right on. McHale outside. It's stolen by McGrady. And a fast break now for New York. KD's got the ball.
Well, Kevin Durant is used to absorbing contact on the way up, and when he's this deep, it really puts the defense in a bind.
On the night, he's gone 2 for 2 at the stripe.
And you look at his numbers from last year, 89% from the line, so hard to ask for much more than that.
And New York making a change here. Rice is checked in. And KD drops them both.
Well, this guy has multiple ways to get to the free throw line, and boy, has his stroke been on the money.
Durant with the steal. And the jam by Kevin Durant.
Well, Kevin Durant has an ability to put the ball on the deck and finish off the drive. Prime example there.
Frazier the pass to Bryant. To halt the run. Trying to get open is Davis. It'll go, and the Knick lead is cut down to 8 on the bucket from Frazier.
This is what we call highly efficient play. Working off the screen, getting to the cup.
Pass to Rice. And Davis pulls it down.
Well, if the defense gives him that shot next time, they could get burned. I think he's just a little bit out of rhythm.
The Knicks leading by 8. A little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the third. KD kicks to Rice. Frazier against McGrady. Down to 5 on the shot clock. New York needs to get off a shot. They get it back. And so it's Frazier who'll bring it up for the Celtics. And it's Davis at the elbow. Nice ball movement by Boston. Now here's Kobe. No points in the game yet for him. Up in time, and that's going to do it. Some good defense down the stretch to end the quarter. And so it's New York holding on to an 8-point lead. And it's time now to bring you our State Farm assist of the game.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
We call that, Greg, putting it right in the pocket, and he knew what to do with it once it was there.
Fourth quarter of action is upon us. Thanks as always for joining us. On the floor for Boston, they've got O'Neal, Damian Lillard out there with Frazier. Then there's Kobe, and it's McHale in at the 4-man position.
And how about the grit and determination in the post? I mean, essential qualities to have late in a close game.
There's the pass to Johnson. Thompson outside. Shoots it. Rebounded by the Celtics.
And if that's the best look you can get on a possession, what a waste of a trip down the floor.
Well, missed opportunities, and they can certainly add up. You cannot afford to take that kind of shot.
Shaq with the bucket.
And it takes a lot to knock O'Neal off balance. A massive player who just fends off the D with ease.
Bird outside. the mark from 16 feet out. Celtics trail by 4. Frazier dishes to McHale. To the paint. Here's O'Neal. The shot comes out. Nice D from Sabonis. New York shooting at a decent 44% clip here. McGrady outside. Bird right side. Over Kobe. And too long on the shot. For Boston, they've gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. Frazier the pass to McHale. Lillard outside. Pass to O'Neal. Lock at 6. Over Sabonis. It'll go, and the Knicks lead is cut down to 2 on the bucket from Shaq.
And O'Neal, just a brute on the block, simply overpowers the opposition.
New York calls timeout. They're leading by 2. 1:04 left in the fourth quarter. We've got a moment for our Jordan player of the game, Kevin Durant.
And he's just been crushing it from the field tonight, Kevin. Whether it's been on open looks or with the guy draped all over him, he just hadn't missed much. With his percentage in the sky-high range, they've had no choice but to make him their #1 option on every trip.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, during that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what David Fizdale said to the team. This game is obviously close, could go either way, and he wanted to make sure that his guys were all on the same page and were all staying with the game plan in order to close this one out. Kevin?
Ball against Lillard. Here's Olajuwon, and they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
So much riding on that shot. What a bucket.
I'll tell you, that changes things, doesn't it? Good job, young fella. What a game.
Nobody near Lillard. Count it! And that shot brings them to within just 1.
That's one of those clutch shots he's known for. When the pressure is high, he seems to be the most locked in.
Ball against Bryant. Ball kicks to Bird. Over English. Bird misses. Now a timeout called by Boston. They're behind by 1. 23 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, what's your take?
This is where great coaching can pay dividends.
Well, this is a chance to take the lead, so you've got to draw up a play to make it happen.
They're in position to take the lead.
And how big would a bucket be at this stage of the game? And Kobe lives for these situations. You know how much he likes the spotlight, and boy, does he deliver time and time again.
New York calls timeout. They trail by 1. There's 21 seconds left in the game. Guys, your thoughts?
Yeah, always intriguing to see what a coach draws up in this situation.
What you want is to create a clean, high percentage look, if that's at all possible.
Olajuwon against Shaq. Oh, missed it.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
Boy, to have someone back there who can erase your mistakes, what a big-time asset defensively.
Now a timeout called by Boston. They're ahead by 1. 5 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And so they choose to intentionally foul.
Honestly, just doing what they have to in order to get the basketball back.
And he misses the first one. Boy, he wanted that one to fall. And he does get the second one. And that will put them up by 2. That will count. Oh, that shot had a chance, but no good. And so it's Boston scraping by with the win. This win, such a tremendous emotional boost for him.
Really an accomplishment and crazy finish to take a road game like this and simply deflate an entire building.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for tuning in. So long, everyone.
ZAS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
Downtown Los
The 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, basketball fans. You've got it on 2K Sports. Looking now at the... Hey, Dave.
Well, guys, since...
He's doing it all, D.A. Thanks. And now the opening lineup for Phoenix. They've got Jason Kidd. Barkley is out there with Antetokounmpo. Then it's Harden, and it's Gilmore in at the 5 down low. And for the Lakers, they've got Miller. Malone is out there with Ewing. Then it's Magic Johnson, and it's Chamberlain in at the 5. Now here's Malone. Johnson surveying the floor. 6 to shoot, and it's blocked. Kidd against Malone. Kidd with the bucket. And tonight, Brent, classic battle of pivot men. Talk about some of your favorite center matchups historically.
Well, we hear a lot and we see a lot in terms of the nostalgia of Wilt Chamberlain going up against Bill Russell. I remember years watching in front of the television Akeem Olajuwon playing against David Robinson in some Western Conference battles. I don't know that we're going to see that much in the next 4 or 5 years, Kevin. We know where the game is going, and those post matchups end up becoming somewhere near the three-point line nowadays.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Pass to Ewing. Shoots over Barkley. Ewing can't hit.
Well, that mid-range, Jay, usually pretty much on the money. Maybe the timing just a little bit off on that one.
And stolen by Chamberlain. Harden against Miller. Just around a minute and a half into the first quarter. And here we go, the fast break with Giannis. Here's Gilmore. Chamberlain with the block. And they'll keep possession. Antetokounmpo kicks to Harden. Back to Antetokounmpo. A three-pointer off the mark. Lakers have gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game.
And, you know, the improvement we've seen over the last few seasons with Giannis is incredible. I mean, he just keeps adding to an already superstar-level game.
Now, here is Miller. Malone passes to Chamberlain. Just 4 to shoot. Johnson, that's for 2. And again, no good by the Lakers. They time it right. They can end this quarter with a 2-for-1.
And that's how you want to end the quarters.
Tries it from the top of the key. Gilmore passes to Barkley. Shoots over Ewing. And it's off the back rim. No good.
And the effort never stops with him. No easy shots when he's on the floor.
Well, it's about the defensive end, and that's what guys feed off. He gives the effort down there at all times.
Now, here is Miller. Los Angeles needs to get off a shot here. Chamberlain trying to get open. Another miss, and they desperately need a bucket. And we reach the end of the first quarter. Suns lead by 4. Live from the Staples Center, you're watching 2K Sports. And if you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter in this one. And from what we've seen, guys, from the Suns, what are you thinking so far?
Stingy on the defensive end in that first quarter. They were just getting up into people.
Just a great job, really, of making the game ugly, trying to muck it up a little bit out there.
Setting the floor for the Suns. Reed out there with Weber, and it's Caron Butler. Then there's Payton, and it's Allen in at the 2-guard position. Three-pointer, Butler. The offensive rebound, Weber. Here's Reed, and the dunk by Reed.
And it's about the want to. That's what Reed gives you. He can be the heart, the soul, and the backbone of your team.
Maravich dishes to Russell. Floats it up for James.
Really heads up there. A play where you locate the best open pass, and then you get it there for an easy bucket. Monty Williams, in his first stint with the Phoenix Suns, was a sought-after hire as a front office personnel member, was with the Spurs before going to Philadelphia, and has been a head coach in the league. Remember his days back in New Orleans with the Pelicans and a young Anthony Davis. So Monty, experienced, is going to bring that to the desert.
Here's Thomas after Chris Webber's score. Here's Maravich, nails the wide-open jump shot.
Just a great hustle play there. Energy and passion. This is what you play the game for.
And that experience you're talking about with Monty Williams, it's why the Suns wanted him.
Well, Monty's experience in a lot of levels in this league, as an assistant coach, as a head coach, being in the front office, part of player development. That's an amazing calming influence for this young Phoenix Suns team to grow with.
And it's blocked. Butler finds Payton. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. That's on Isaiah Thomas.
Payton, a super vocal guy, constantly talking up a storm, always trying to get into the heads of the opposition.
Here's what the Lakers are going with right now. Wilkins comes in for Maravich, and it's Johnson in for Isaiah Thomas. Johnson, the pass to Drexler. Second quarter of play with around 2 minutes gone so far. It's deflected. Harden against Johnson. Out to Payton. Over Drexler. Misses off the right iron.
Well, that's the only way to take him out of his comfort zone from that range. Get right up in the jersey, force him off the spot. Such a critical part of how their offense is going to flow. Things are only working when he seems to be on the floor.
Yeah, just constantly attacking the paint. Harden does not settle. And if they're thinking they can get a 2-for-1 here.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to what they're going to run here. Got to run a good play.
6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Right side out of Antetokounmpo, and that one drops. Antetokounmpo's got the lead up to 7 now for Phoenix.
Just all the physical advantages that Giannis has really present a tough challenge for the defense down there.
Now Wilkins still looking for his first bucket in this one. And the quarter ends with some stifling defense right there. And so it's the Phoenix Suns bringing the quarter to a close with a 7-point lead. Their defense has been active and effective. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, basketball fans. For the Suns, the first quarter was pretty even. They did jump out to a lead in the opening period, but 4. And that'll about...
And happy you could join us. We've got 2 quarters left to go in regulation. Look at LeBron James. He's really been playing well.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything that the league can do to slow him down. He's just that good.
Yeah, avalanche warning in this one. He is just on a roll.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. Taking a look at Los Angeles. Ewing is out there with Malone. Then there's Chamberlain, and it's Miller, and it's Johnson in at the point. Each team has a catalyst, Brent. Some guys are ball dominant. They play within the flow of the offense. Is there one approach better than the other?
Obviously, great coaches, Kevin, are going to find what it is that their best player does well. And as many times as I could get my best player into that situation, that's what I'm going to do. So if it's Harden in isolation, James Harden's going to be in isolation. If it's Steph Curry setting off-ball screens and relocating for threes, well, I'm going to do that too. So it all comes down to a fit with the player, his skill set, and how the coach wants to use that best.
And when you have this kind of size as a point guard, what a tremendous advantage. Magic can really match up with all 5 positions.
Now, here is Barkley. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. That one falls.
Didn't have to lean, not a defender on him, but he looked very much in rhythm doing it.
Here's Johnson. Inside, here's Ewing, and it's blocked.
And they hold a huge advantage on the backboard.
Outside Kidd, and Barkley throws it down.
And you can see Kidd's ability to pass truly is a gift. When one of his teammates is open, he is quick to get them the ball in rhythm.
Now here is Miller. There's another block.
A defensive stalwart so far. That's 6 blocks.
Greg protecting the rim. Love the hustle.
And running with a full head of steam, but completely under control.
Yeah, you think he's comfortable at that speed? He's done it so many times before. Just an absolute blur in transition, and that helps get the rhythm going.
And the Lakers decide to take their first time out here.
Trying to snap them out of this little slump.
Well, they can't find the net right now, and all they need, I think, is just to get one to go, get back on track.
Catching up on the changes for Los Angeles. Russell, he's checked in for Chamberlain. LeBron comes in for Patrick Ewing. Mirovic, he's checked in for Miller. And Isaiah Thomas is subbed in for Johnson. And then for Phoenix, Weber, he's checked in for Barkley. Butler comes in for Giannis Antetokounmpo. And Allen subbed in for James Harden. Now here's Thomas. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Up top, Weber. James covering. Passes to Butler. 23 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. And it's Russell with the rebound. Lakers trail by 11. And LeBron gets it to go with the assist by Thomas. And it's 7 points for LeBron.
You got to do better than that, or at least try. LeBron James is too strong, and a little contact is not going to go a long way.
That's a 2 from Kidd, and that one released in time, but no good. And so it's Phoenix in control with a 9-point lead to end the quarter. They've played the better game so far, but their work is far from over. Back to the action after this word. While we have the chance now, folks, let's go to our State Farm assist of the game.
And he may not be known as a pass-first guy playing out of the two-guard spot, but he shows here that he can dole out an assist or two when he needs to.
Even though the position is called shooting guard, passing part of your responsibilities in today's game.
And this is it. Glad to have you along for this fourth and final quarter. On the court for the Suns, they've got Caron Butler. Payton is out there with Allen. And it's Reed. And it's Weber in at the 4 spot.
He's got so many ways to score in the post. Just nifty, uses fakes. You have to have a body on him every time he's down there.
Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
And how unique is Weber? A smooth shooting big man with some sick handle.
And he knocks down the first one. Some changes for the Lakers. Chamberlain's checked in for Russell. Ewing comes in for James. And Miller's subbed in for Maravich. That misses, so he splits the free throws. Lakers trail by 10. Drexler dishes to Ewing. Miller against Butler. Good! Miller's got his first 2 points of the night.
And that mid-range spot is so sweet for him.
And we've played through about a minute here in the fourth. Allen surveying the D. Out to Payton. 5 to shoot. The rebound by Ewing. Ewing's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Allen against Thomas. Miller outside. That's good. And it's Thomas picking up the assist.
They're finding the weakness in the defense. That's the court savvy of Thomas at work.
Timeout called. The Suns, they're in front by 5. 1:31 left in the fourth. And Los Angeles with some changes. Malone comes in for Clyde Drexler. And it's Johnson in for Thomas. And for the Suns, Barkley, he's checked in for Weber. Giannis comes in for Caron Butler. And it's James Harden in for Allen. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sideline.
Hey, Kevin, here's what Monty Williams went over with his team during the timeout. He said, this is where mistakes can kill us. This is where mistakes can turn this thing completely around. Protect the basketball and make the simple play. In other words, guys, no hero ball right now.
Johnson can't hit.
Well, you make strides to get back in the ball game, but an errant shot like that can definitely cost you any kind of momentum. Have to use better judgment there.
Now here's Harden. Now the pass to Antetokounmpo. And the shot is good. And the Suns lead by 7.
As Giannis has grown in his physical stature, widening those shoulders, having more strength, these are the kind of plays that make all that hard work pay off.
And the Lakers call time here. They're trailing by 7. There's 48 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. And with his game closing in on the final buzzer, let's take a look at our Jordan player of the game.
And when he's been on the floor, it has been a clinic in rim protection and shot blocking. He's played the defense of 3 men tonight. His block total has gotten to a point you almost never see in an NBA game.
He's really seemed to feed off the hostile environment he's been faced with tonight.
2 shots.
Both free throws good for Miller.
Boy, did they need those free throws to go down. They're definitely within striking distance.
And so they foul intentionally. Harden draws the double. Giannis outside. Here's Harden on the wing. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
And the way Harden plays the game, incredible. So much energy and really as creative as they come.
And so he drops them both. It's a 7-point game.
Some padding here on the free throw line. Some good work.
And the Lakers call time here. They're down by 7. 29 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Here is Miller. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Down low, here's Ewing. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. They get Jason Kidd. So the first one drops, and that trims the lead to 6. Both free throws good from Ewing. And the Suns call time here. They're up by 5. 23 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Big group substitution here for the Lakers. Chamberlain's checked in for Worthy. Malone comes in for Wilkins. Miller's checked in for Maravich. And it's Johnson in for Bradley. And now we've got the intentional foul. And no good as the first free throw missing for him. We'll see if he can nail the second.
And Kidd, really just a nightly triple-double threat. Big point guard who can score, pass, and also rebounds the ball.
So it's the Lakers now. 6-point game. Here's Johnson. And Barkley sends it back. And an intentional foul right there. He drops the first one, and that makes it a 7-point lead. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's an 8-point game. Outside Bradley for 3. It's money from deep.
Well, he's been in these situations before, and Bradley coming through again.
So it's Phoenix picking up the win. They seem to relish their role as the bad guy here tonight.
You know, Kevin, I sense that as well. I mean, they really did feed off all of that negative energy this crowd was directing at them. I mean, they turned it around and used it as motivation to close out a significant win.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. So for David Aldridge, Craig Anthony, Brett Baer.
kids with no rules. Giving out gold like a boost. Calling me king like a moose. Moose. Just a young man from the line full of Africans where they try to play us for the goal right now. Leading all my people in the struggle on the bubble, trying to hustle past the fork in the road right now. All my ready for the call, all I gotta do is push the button and they gonna hold me down. Build an empire like City Bed, feeling like Didier, focus on the goal right now. Always had the beats on lock, now I got the flow on lock. To the top, pull Kendrick on the clock, that's a violence, I know shot, I ain't never on the block.
One of the most unique sculptures you'll ever. Both teams tonight dealing with some injury. Here's a look at who's out for the evening.
And some uncertainty arises when both teams are missing players. Who is better able to weather the storm and take care of business?
Let's check out Chicago's starting lineup. Baylor is out there with Robinson. Then there's Bull. Then there's Gervin. And it's Archibald in at the 1. And for the Pistons, they've got Paul George. Steph Curry's out there with Dwayne Wade. Then there's Howard. And it's Garnett in at the power forward.
Well, last season was a successful one for the Pistons. I mean, they made the playoffs as an 8 seed. They were counted out at times, but had a strong second half to make it back to the postseason.
And Chicago has possession. Dwight Howard missing his last shot. And the pass to Gervin. Here's Bull. The shot will not fall. And it's Detroit the other way. Wade outside. From the top of the key, Garnett. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
Love the determination he showed there, getting himself into good position under the glass.
With the presence of mind to know just where the rebound was going to come down. Well timed. Now here's Gervin. Pass to Bull. Over Howard. Bull can't hit. And Chris with the Pistons. An incredible run during February made the difference last season for them.
Yeah, well, the offense has been their weak spot, but it was clicking during that stretch. I mean, this team needs to find a way to play like that all season long. They've showed some flashes of greatness. Now it's just about continuing to improve.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Yeah, very little resistance. I mean, you had to bring much faster help than that.
Curry brings the double. Back to Gervin. Stolen by Wade. And now here's George, the fast break opportunity. And the shot goes in.
Wade is an active defender. He's superb at slapping the ball away from the opposition.
The Bulls have gone just 1 of 4 to get this game started. Pass to Gervin. It doesn't go for him. Wade with the defensive effort. Garnett, right side. Here's George. The second effort. Robinson with the block.
And there you see why Robinson is the anchor of this defense. Massive wingspan, easily allowing him to turn away shots.
Here's Archibald, and wrestling for it there, but no one has possession. We'll have a jump ball. And here are the Bulls now. Baylor passes to Archibald. Shot clock at 6. Here's Robinson, and he hits it just before the shot clock expires.
Good job taking advantage of the size mismatch. There's no way that jumper's getting blocked.
Here's Curry. Good if it goes. And no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. Pistons lead by 1. Stay with us as we get set to bring you the second quarter right after this. And this has been a fairly close game through the first quarter, and we'll see what happens here in the second. Guys, what do you think so far from what we've seen from the Pistons?
Well, in that first quarter, they were intent on just pounding the ball down low.
Old school approach. I mean, if you have a favorable matchup inside, just keep pounding it in there.
ABC is out there with Pierce. Then there's Carter. And it's Rose. And it's Wade in at the 2-guard. They're the group Detroit will start the second with.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
Excellent D, avoiding fouling and got in the perfect position to alter the shot.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
And the Bulls last year, Kevin, had a lot of holes in their teams. They struggled on offense as well as defense, and their lack of outside shooting was one of their bigger issues.
Now here's Baylor. He's been patient so far, nothing on the scoreboard yet. Robinson for 3. Second shot opportunity. Fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a 3-point play chance for him.
I wouldn't want to be the guy who has to keep him off the boards. He is a beast on the offensive glass.
Z-Webb, the Bulls last year, bottom 2 offense in the league.
Yeah, only slightly better than the Knicks. I mean, you know, Kevin, injuries hurt. They had to suit up 22 different players last year. But overall, this team has a lot of work to do on the offensive end to improve.
Now here's Wade. Passes it to Rose. Over Robinson. Detroit, no good that time either.
Well, I thought that one was going to go down. The mid-range jumpers, oh, man, that's usually a bunny with the D playing soft like that.
Here's Robinson. Cooper kicks to Robinson, and it's Robinson with the jam.
Puts the D in a tough spot when you have a point guard who can throw it down.
He really does, GA. He really does put pressure on him.
And guys, it's clear, though, he enjoys showing off his athleticism. The D can't give him these opportunities.
Carter outside. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Here's Rose. Griffin trying to get open. Count that one. The Bulls' lead has been cut down to 2 on the bucket from Rose.
I like the awareness on the court from Wade. He's excellent at scanning the floor to set up the open teammate.
And there's the pass to Cooper. And here in the second, 2 minutes gone by. Here's Robinson. Nice pass. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup. Robinson's got the lead up to 4 now for Chicago. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
And the dunk by Rose.
And that's the Derrick Rose of old. Full speed ahead and bursting to the rim. And if they're thinking they can get a 2-for-1 here.
You just have to manage the clock correctly. You know, sometimes it's easier said than done if you also want to get a good look. Oh, don't forget about this fella for a second. He is the definition of dangerous.
Pass to Robinson. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. That's on Paul Pierce.
Yeah, and Robinson is a franchise-defining talent, a chiseled, powerful center, a remarkable leader.
And a different look here for the Pistons. Howard's checked in for ABC. Garnett comes in for Paul Pierce. George is checked in for Dwayne Wade. And Curry subbed in for Derrick Rose. 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Now here's Curry. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Vince Carter on the wing. Here's Garnett. Got a piece of it. And a close game so far through the first 2. Thanks for the great interview, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
It was a closely contested first quarter for Chicago. Some good action during the period. And
we've got second half action for you, and if the next couple quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. One guy who's been getting it done is David Robinson.
And even with the defense shading towards him on every trip down, he still finds a way to come up big.
He's so good at reading opportunities and seizing up on whatever the defense gives up.
And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly even so far. And tipping off the second half, here's Jim Boylan's 5. Robinson is out there with Bowl. Then there's Gervin. Then it's Baylor. And it's Archibald in at the point guard position. And it goes down 2 points. There's always at least one joker on every roster. Who was the funniest guy, Chris, you ever played alongside?
Oh, man, by far is Jay Will. Jay Will, White Chocolate. He was the funniest before the game, after the game, during the game. He would, you know, it'd be a bad call by a ref or something. He'd say something to the ref would laugh and pat him on the butt. I mean, he was, he's a funny guy. He's somewhere right now telling jokes, having somebody laugh and fall out of the floor. It was just his personality, a hard worker, but he definitely was the joker on the court.
And it's the Bulls with the ball after Paul George getting his 3 to go. And it's sent back by Howard.
No trespassing. Howard controlling the defense. Rock solid start for him. I mean, they're 3 for 3 since coming out of the locker room.
Gervin right side. At the elbow, it's Robinson. Knocked loose. Garnett with it. Robinson picks him up. And here we go. Wade heading to the hoop.
And creating a little separation here, gaining some confidence.
Yeah, it feels like they're just one step ahead right now, looking to build out their advantage even further.
Now, here is Robinson. He's got 6. Curry's shot is good. And it's a 9-point Piston lead.
And getting out in transition has been a big part of this run that they're on.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago.
And the lack of rim protection, top of the list.
Without question. They're giving up too many high percentage looks, a trend that they'd like to reverse.
And the Pistons making a change here. Rose is checked in.
It's a brand new era in Detroit, Kevin. I mean, Dwayne Casey has been given the reins, and there's a lot to like about the future. In a short time, has Detroit excited.
Now here's Gervin. He's still scoreless so far in this one. It's stolen by Curry. And now the Pistons fast break. Here's Rose. No good off the back of the rim. Bulls trail by 9. Gervin outside to stop the run. And that one good. For Detroit, they've gone 5 of 6 so far from the field in the second half. Tremendous efficiency. Back to George. And it's George finishing it off.
Oh, improving his floor awareness. Howard has a decent sense for when his guys are open.
Pick up the pace, get the 2 for 1 here.
If that's how they want to end this quarter, they're going to have to score quickly.
So for the Pistons, Pierce comes in for Kevin Garnett. And it's Carter in for Curry. Outside Rose. 16 seconds left in the third quarter. Just 5 on the clock. Got a hand on it. It could go. No good. Shot missing. The third quarter comes to a close. Pistons lead by 9. Jump. And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
And he may not be known as a pass-first guy playing out of the 2-guard spot, but he shows here that he can dole out an assist or 2 when he needs to.
Yeah, no need for hero ball there. I mean, you just need to make the right basketball play. Outstanding dish that time.
And with 3 quarters behind us, let's see what this fourth period holds in store for us. They've got Carter. Paul George is out there with Pierce. Then there's Howard. And it's Rose in at the point. That's the group for Detroit right now. And so it's Rose who brings the ball up for Detroit. They lead by their biggest margin of the game, 9.
And that was the play to make. Rose making the right read.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Bogues against Carter. Bogues the pass to Murison. Robinson for 3. Rebounded by Howard. Pistons leading by 11. And there's Rose on the assist by Pierce. And it's 6 points for Rose.
And as long as he retains that great explosion in his legs, Derrick Rose will be a factor around the rim.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. They're trailing by 13. 1:56 left in the fourth quarter. For the Pistons, Kevin Garnett is checked in for Pierce, and Dwayne Wade subbed in for Carter. Bulls making a switch here. Just over a minute played here in the fourth. Here's Robinson, and the Bulls with another miss.
That's the only way to hold him in check. He's got it inside. You got to have a body on him right away.
Here's Archibald. He feeds it to Robinson. Great D that time from Howard.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
Yeah, you can see why he's established that reputation. Strong understanding of how to defend at the rim.
Now here's Garnett after David Robinson's miss. And he's able to get it back. 5 on the clock. Here's Rose. And it's Chicago with the rebound. There's a minute left here in the fourth quarter.
And there's no doubt about this one. Playing with a lot of confidence tonight. It's a statement victory for the Pistons.
Tonight, they did a great job of getting everyone involved. They had the good passing, and that led to some open shots.
Solid play, definitely, Kevin.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Dwayne Wade.
You look at the energy he brought on both ends of the floor, and it's easy to see why he was a difference maker.
Curry's checked in for Derrick Rose. Now here's Curry. Defense right on him. Pass to Garnett. The Pistons working the ball around now. Here's Howard. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. That's on David Robinson.
Proving he can be crafty. Howard takes pride in fooling defenders and getting them to jump.
And a different look here for the Pistons. Griffin's checked in for Garnett. Anthony comes in for George. Doncic is checked in for Dwayne Wade. And Parker subbed in for Steph Curry.
And the dunk was nice, Kevin, but the move he made to free himself up was a thing of beauty.
It sure was, Greg. What a savvy play to get into position for that jam.
And you can sense that these fans, these players, they are ready to celebrate.
And you know they are, sure. I mean, come on, the finish line is in sight. All they have to do is play it smart.
Thomas, good.
He embraces the contact, does Thomas. At his height, he uses his body like a shield, just has such great leverage, creating space for the finish.
It's Carmelo Anthony on the wing. And so it's the Pistons taking care of business here. Some good competition, but the hometown advantage and their ability to stay focused, I think, made the difference.
Yeah, and the first step to becoming a good team is your ability to win at home. And they really seem to revel in that opportunity. And this is what they came out to do.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Chris Webber, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. We'll see you next time.
can't get enough.
I like that.
Yeah. Flashback, digital dash. He used to run with a. He used to. Now he a good boy. Used to be. Flashback, digital dash. Go on a run if it. If they tryna. Now he a good boy. Used to be. Flashback, digital dash. He used to run with a. He used to. Now he a good boy. Used to be. Flashback, digital dash. Flashback, digital dash. Flashback, digital dash. Flashback, digital dash. 9 times out of 10, he gon'. Let's not pretend. Look, everybody starts as a kid with a pure heart, then they turn to him. Papa, mama, all the know is traumatized, freedom jeopardized. He just wanna win. What's a smile when you? He ain't tryna go in. 5 years later, all that is just a flashback, digital dash. He used to run with a. He used to. Now he a good boy. Used to be flashback, digital dash. Go on a run if it's. If they tryna. Now he a good boy. Used to be flashback, digital dash. He used to run with a. He used to. Now he a good boy. Used to be flashback, digital dash. Flashback, digital dash. Flashback, digital dash. Flashback, digital dash. I'm aware of the feelings inside. I'm feeling defeat and feeling running the streets. Aware of the feelings inside. I'm feeling defeat and feeling running the streets. The system put in place they use to try to stop us. The system put in place that is always far from where I was. Come run, but I'm still a. Then I'm done where I'm from. That don't tough up. That get looked at as a. I ain't going back to. That's a dub. 5 years later, all that is just a flashback. Digital dash. He used to run with a. He used to. Now he a good boy. Used to be flashback. Digital dash. Go on a run if it's. If they tryna clash. Now he a good boy. Used to be flashback. Digital dash. He used to run with a. He used to. Now he a good boy, used to be bad. Flashback, digital dash. Flashback, digital dash. Flashback, digital dash. Flashback, digital dash. Aware of the feelings inside. I'm feeling defeat and feeling running the streets. Aware of the feelings inside. I'm feeling defeat and feeling running the streets.
Do you hear me calling? Me no way, no drive. Do you hear me calling? Do you hear me calling? Me no way, no drama. Not a lover. Do you hear me calling? Do you hear me calling? Me no way, no drama. I just want you, my darling. Break away and make a way to make it. Love the way you
And the player introductions are wrapped up. The starting fives for both teams, as we're just about ready to get this one started. Thanks for tuning in this Wednesday. 2K Sports presents the NBA. Joined by Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, and David Aldridge. This is Kevin Harlan.
Best feeling, yes, girl, you the best. Take away stress, love me to death when I'm a mess. Ring, do you hear me calling? You know ain't no drama. Do you hear me calling? Do you hear me calling? You know ain't no drama. Not a lover. Do you hear me calling? Do you hear me calling? You know ain't no drama. I just want you, my darling. Ring, do you hear me calling? You know ain't no drama. Ring, do you hear me calling? You know ain't no drama. On the bed, on my mind, won't let bad out my shine, won't let you cloud my mind, won't let you cloud my mind. All my days I was crying, all my lows, all my highs. Told my mom I'm gon' shine, told my love I'm gon', no, it's like no, it's like
Gang. Whoa, kidding. First, I ain't taking no chances. I used to drink just to drive in the spring. Fade away, Danny fan. In the bathroom. Foreign, yeah, I drive the fast. I love my new shit. I like my last one. They shaking, I just might. Since young, we been had them. I got that can't handle that. Hit the kitchen, it's getting this man. My fist, I got. Gon' surf like a champ. You got nerve, I got. It's like a pharmacy. I ain't tryna rap when I in the wet. Be sure that you win. I see her up flying in the wind. Bad little. Y'all keep taking losses, all I know is win. Win. Quarter mil, I just ran through it again. She geeking, she calling again. I keep taking losses, all I know is win. Even if it wasn't show love, I ain't trying to trust cause the still might switch. Hard times hit, don't bust, stay 10 toes. Close and I bet you gon' win. Win, win, win. That heavy bag and this heavy bag looking thin. Gucci my trunks, I got to stay drunk cause I walk around with all this drip. Feel like I'm living a dream. These rappers be saying that down me. Please don't compare them to me. I gotta win, my twin sons gotta eat. When you get money.
The lights of downtown reflecting off the Willamette River in this terrific look at the picturesque city of Portland. The NBA on 2K Sports welcomes you to Wednesday afternoon basketball. Kevin Harlan here, and I'm joined by Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge. GA, it's all yours.
Well, guys.
Indeed, there is. Thanks, David. And the starting group for the Spurs. They've got Iverson. Pippen is out there with Nowitzki. Then it's Kareem, and it's Jordan in at the shooting guard. And for Portland, Hill out there with Duncan. Then there's Robertson. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. And it's Walton in at the 5 spot. Here's Iverson. 1 up, 1 down. 2 points with his first shot this game. These guys have known each other, Clark, for a long time. There should be very few surprises tonight.
I agree with you, Kevin. 2 veteran teams here, and that means that execution becomes the driving force in success.
Pass to Nowitzki. He's looking for Abdul-Jabbar and finds him. And he makes that one.
Yes, he did. The floor awareness of Nowitzki, admirable. Does a stellar job working the ball over to the open man.
Leonard against Jordan. Hands with the ball out of bounds. Jordan touched it last. Robertson dishes to Duncan. And it's sent back by Nowitzki. Here in the first, a little over a minute played so far. Iverson passes to Nowitzki. Basket, good.
Kevin, you always have to be alert to where Nowitzki is. I mean, he loves catching the defense off guard with the catch and shoot.
And Portland turns it over again. 1:39 left here in the opening quarter. Jordan, the pass to Abdul-Jabbar. Jordan with it. Leonard picks him up. And the foul called on Kawhi Leonard. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Iverson. Now here's Nowitzki. The pass to Pippen. Just 5 to shoot. Over Duncan.
Tell you what, Tim Duncan, such an anchor defensively. I mean, when he's not blocking shots, he's altering them with his length.
And the Spurs, I've heard it said, the most process-oriented team in the league.
Well, that's an understanding of what it takes for them as a small market team to be successful. A good assessment of what they have to do as the San Antonio Spurs to be good. Scouting, coaching, chemistry, all part of that.
Leonard with the steal. Outside Hill. And it's Hill with the jam.
Yeah, one of the great in-game dunkers we have. Grant Hill, he might not put on a show with his dunks, but it doesn't make him any less impressive.
Iverson passes to Nowitzki. Clock at 6. It's hauled in by the Trailblazers. Robertson outside and stolen by Iverson. Tries it from 19. The shot's good.
And the mid-range game of Iverson is quite steady. Has a rapid-fire release, and even at his size, it's hard to get to his shot.
Leonard from deep three-point land. And so the first quarter is in the books. It's the Spurs. They lead by... And thanks Thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter of action so far. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Spurs?
Well, the offense is clicking, and they seem to have seized the momentum here early on.
Yeah, you know, I agree. No warm-up needed. They came in on fire and have already built a nice lead.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor. All fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. On the floor for San Antonio, we've got Brown. Parrish is out there at Malone. And there's Bradley Beal. And it's Nash in at the 1. Leonard finds Duncan. Here's Rodman. West outside. Three-pointer. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket.
And this is where the nickname comes from, Mr. Outside. West can kill you from distance.
Pass to Beal. Here's Brown. Tim Duncan grabs the miss.
Well, you've got to be there defensively. I mean, that's an easy mid-range jumper that he'll typically drain.
Shots good from West.
And you know, a tough, crafty scorer inside. West showing you he's not just an elite jump shooter.
Passes it to Malone. Kicks to Beal. Spurs passing it around. Hands it from downtown. Brown's got his first 3 points of the game. We have seen so many great players in the history of this terrific game, but in your mind, who's the best to have never won an MVP?
Wow, you think about some of the names on that list recently, or not too long ago. Patrick Ewing, Scottie Pippen, same era. How about going back to John Havlicek, a former Buckeye and all-time great with the Celtics. Elgin Baylor, one of the first high-flying forwards that I recall, one of those really creative do-it-all type forwards. Jerry West and Dwayne Wade right in that mix too, man. Those are some lofty names that didn't get an MVP.
Leonard the pass to McAdoo. West against Parrish. Top of the key. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
Yeah, McAdoo's so good at crashing the boards. Outstanding as an offensive rebounder working that glass.
Duncan against Nash. Duncan with the block. And it's out of bounds. The Spurs able to retain possession here. Holton's checked in for the Trailblazers. Hill comes in for Leonard. And San Antonio also making a switch. Pau Gasol's checked in for Robert Parrish. And for those of you just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Nash kicks to Malone. Just 3 to shoot. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. Trailblazers trail by 4. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Steve Nash. That's his first foul. And the Trailblazers making a change here. Robertson's checked in. Then for the Spurs, Abdul-Jabbar's checked in for Malone. Pippen comes in for Bradley Beal. And it's Jordan in for Brown. There's 25 seconds left to play here in the half. Hill deciding where to go with it. Here's Walton, and Walton throws it down.
And when he's on the floor, offensive rebounding is always going to be a strength for them.
Greg, he keeps so many possessions alive, doesn't he?
And you know, those second chance opportunities can be game changers. He represents so much value to this team because of what he does.
9 seconds left in the second quarter. To the inside. That's good from Gasol, and the assist by Nash. Gasol's got his first points of the game.
You know, Nash is an excellent distributor, a phenomenal floor general, great at recognizing when his guys are open.
And some good action through the first 2 quarters as we...
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, a pretty close game for the Spurs throughout the first quarter. The biggest lead they were able to get out to. And that'll...
Second half of basketball upon us. We may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game it's been so far. Trailblazers trail by 4. We've got Duncan. Kawhi Leonard is out there with Robertson. Then it's Walton. And it's Hill in at the small forward. That's the group on the floor for Portland. And he comes up with the deuce.
You got to honor Duncan from the mid-range. When he's got space to shoot, he does not hesitate.
Jordan against Leonard. Pass to Iverson. Duncan with the block. And now Portland on the break. Leonard with no one around. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim. The Spurs shooting has been beyond great up until now. How about 57% from the field overall? Iverson against Robertson. And that one, good. Iverson's got 6.
And you see the ability to rise and fire from mid-range, even against that length.
You know, guys, if they're inside, that shot probably gets blocked. But from mid-range, I mean, he's able to get it off over the bigger defender there.
The pass to Abdul-Jabbar. Shot clock at 5. The dish to Nowitzki. Releases from the wing and drills it. And it's a 6-point Spurs lead.
And I always like seeing Nowitzki get the shot from here. I mean, his jumper, as sweet as it gets.
Duncan. Nice D from Nowitzki.
Boy, that defense smothered him in there. Love the intensity.
Pippen dishes to Iverson. Back to Pippen. To the middle. Robertson with the steal. 2 minutes into the second half of play now. Pass to Duncan. Kicks it out to Leonard. Fires the 3. Drains it from beyond the arc. Leonard's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Iverson outside. Over Duncan. No good on the shot. A bit long that time.
And, guys, not sure where his head was on that shot. Not what this offense was designed to create.
Not at all. I mean, that's where they want him looking for a teammate, not trying to do it on his own. He needs to share the wealth there.
Outside Pippen. Knocked away. No good. Nice D from Duncan. And it's Leonard missing.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
And you know what, guys? That will pump him up because he takes a ton of pride in what he does on defense.
Well, we thought the third quarter was over, but it turns out the officials are going to review the play to see if he released the ball before the buzzer.
And even though, you know, you're thinking maybe we don't need the replay in a situation like this, still plenty of time left in this game, and really it's about getting the call right.
Yeah, and the NBA Replay Center in Secaucus is queuing up the footage for the officials on the floor. The new process is making for quicker turnarounds, I think.
And a moment now as we take a look at our State Farm assists of the game.
And he sliced the D wide open with this feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
Yeah, that's just a brilliant read of the defense. I mean, it was also excellent anticipation of the movement of his teammates before the pass. Just great harmony on all sides.
Well, this has been a great contest so far, and I imagine the fourth quarter could have even more action in store for us. On the floor for San Antonio, starting the fourth quarter, we've got Jordan. Malone is out there with Parrish. Then it's Nash, and it's Brown in at the 2. Down low, and the rejection by Parrish.
Beautiful thing to watch there. Parrish with great anticipation and timing to get to that shot and deny it.
And the basket is good. Got it to go through on the contact, so a free throw coming up. Great opportunity for a three-point play. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for the Spurs.
I thought we might see the defense adjust at halftime to slow the break, but that has not been the case.
Another factor here tonight has been the amount of points they've scored off turnover.
Here's West. Walton the pass to McAdoo. Brown against Robertson. Here's Walton, and Walton throws it down.
And doing some dirty work on the offensive glass.
And then fouls it up, Greg, with heavy-duty jam on his mind with a terrific putback.
Got a pigeon on that one. Easy money right there, fellas. Going old school on you young fellas. Look that up, pigeon.
And how about the anticipation and timing? You know, we talk about Walton's offense. How about the defense, though, he provides for this team?
West with the ball. He's picked up by Jordan. That one goes. Count it. And now it's just a 4-point San Antonio lead.
And that's right in his wheelhouse, looking to make an impact when it counts.
You know, they want the ball in his hands here because they trust him to hit all the big shots.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. They're up by 4. 1:33 left in the game. And the Spurs making a change here. Pippen's checked in. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, guys, during the last break, I listened to Greg Popovich talk to his team. He's encouraged where they are at this point in the game, but he told his guys things can turn in a blink. What we need to do is execute the rest of the way. So we'll see if they can finish this one off, Kevin.
Passes to Malone. Over Walton. And that one hits back iron. Trailblazers trail by 4. Pass to Robertson. There's 53 seconds left to play here in the 4th.
You know, using his size advantage there to rip down that board in traffic.
And the Spurs with possession. Here's Nash. It's tipped. And McAdoo kicks to Robertson. Inside. And that's an intentional foul for the Trailblazers. Tim Duncan, he's checked in for McAdoo. Hill comes in for Rodman. And it's Leonard in for Robertson. Dirk Nowitzki, he's checked in for the Spurs. Iverson comes in for Nash. Good on the first, and that puts them up by 5.
I don't know if we've seen a tougher player pound for pound than Allen Iverson. I mean, you can knock him around, but he's always going to bounce back up.
San Antonio making a switch here. Abdul-Jabbar's checked in.
Sensing an opportunity here to increase the lead and capitalizing on it.
Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over. They're behind by 6. 29 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Chance now to recognize our Jordan Player of the Game, Allen Iverson.
And I love that it's been a hard-charging performance. Jump shots have been kind of an afterthought. His main goal has been to attack the rim and put the D in some tough spots and also finishing strong.
Good! What a beautiful shot to bring him to within 3.
Leonard has really become so good at catching and firing. I mean, he doesn't allow the defense any time to alter his shot.
15 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Now Iverson. It's in!
I like the play call. Very solid, making perfect use of the pick to get a great look.
Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over. They're trailing by 5. 3 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
Trying to keep hope alive, but I don't see them making a comeback.
You know what? I'm sure crazier things have happened, or maybe not. It's a long shot, though.
And stolen by Iverson. And so it's San Antonio with the win. A truly gutsy performance away from home.
You know, it really was. And Kevin, when this one was hanging in the balance late, they showed just what a tough-minded group they can be.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Clark Kellogg.
Don't worry, my get part of the, so I got it right back. By the way,